One video, double your close rate. Now, a lot of you guys spend so much time in the DMs appointment setting, or you guys get inbounds, or you're in the LinkedIn messages, your appointment setting, you work super hard for the prospect, you finally get them on the sales call, that 30-minute call, that promising 30-minute call. Get to the end of the call, everything was good, they're talking like they need your service, you drop the price, they see I need to think about it, I need to talk to my wife, let me circle back to you in a few months, price is too high. You get so many objections and you don't know why. Now, this video is for those of you guys that are stuck in this endless loop, not closing these deals, not getting enough paid in fulls, you're not getting exactly what you want, even though you feel like you've been putting in the correct amount of inputs. So I currently have 4 more sales calls today. It is almost 10 a.m. I think it's 9:55 right now. And I have 4 more qualified sales calls. I'm going to show you how I'm going to be closing most of them. What we don't do a good job of as not really closers, but as business owners. I'm not a closer. I run my own business. I still close for my business. What I tell my clients every single time when they say, I didn't get the pay in full, I didn't get the Stripe notification, or I didn't close the client, I tell them one thing and one thing simply: you didn't do enough discovery and you didn't ask the right questions. Sales is simply the art of who can be quiet the most amount of time, ask the right questions that rub in the most amount of pain. Now, if I asked you questions that weren't relevant to your current situation, and I asked you questions that you feel good answering, that's terrible. A mentor of mine once told me a while ago that he said, how do you feel in the sales calls when you take them? And I said, oh, I feel great. Okay, well, do you like your prospect? Yeah, I love my prospect. That's why you can't close. Because all you want to do is just chat it up on the sales calls. They don't see you as an authority figure. You're not rubbing in enough pain. So what we have to understand is that when you ask the right questions, especially consequence questions, we get our prospect thinking about, well, what happened, or what will happen if I don't go with this guy? Or what will happen if I stay in this situation for the rest of my life? And so when we ask cost of inaction questions and we sell with COI, not return on investment, like you're going to get your money back in 3 months if you listen to what I have to say. No. If you don't lose these 5 pounds, where are you going to be in the next 3 months? If you don't shed this weight before her wedding, where are you going to be? If you don't, book in these 20 to 30 appointments in the next month, where are you going to be? Or if you still book, or if you're only booking 5 appointments for the next 6 months, what is that going to do for your business? You're going to have to go back to your 9 to 5. What's it going to look like for your family? When we ask consequence questions and you do the discovery section correctly, all objections will become irrelevant in the end, because you did a good enough job remedying the pain and understanding their current situation, and they understand their current situation, and they understand that they can't go anywhere after this call, and they're essentially in a ditch. And so if you simply just ask the right questions during the discovery section of the sales call, you'll be perfectly fine. We do this by asking consequence questions. I just trained one of my clients yesterday on closing, got him through the appointment setting process. He understood it. He was now at the point where he was setting in a solid amount of appointments. We moved into some of the closing trainings. He took a sales call yesterday and it went terrible before I put out the training. It was terrible. He didn't like it. He didn't close. I reviewed his call. He was doing a lot of just talking, basically, talked 80% of the time, didn't ask the right questions, didn't rub into the right amount of pain, off track, wasn't following along the sales guideline. It wasn't really following along and asking questions that progressed the sale. And so I sent him a few looms, created an entire 30-minute closing video for my inner circle clients, sent that over to him, showed him it, had a deal that he closed in about 12 hours after that. And that just goes to show that sales isn't necessarily hard. You're just not trained the right way. A lot of people are trained in sales about what to say here and what exactly to say, and like reading down the line, and this is sales 101, you want to do this, but it's all about knowing the person. Now, we really have to make sure that we do a good job of understanding and talking to the person like we're human. So because you didn't do enough in discovery, you're getting 12,000 objections at the very end. Whereas in discovery, you could have handled those objections one by one, by one, by one, very systematically if you ask the right questions. So then when you do get to the price point, there's no more objections left. And if there are, they're contradictory. And so the other thing is a time objection. And so I always say at the beginning of my call, I have 30 minutes. Do you mind if we upend it really quickly? When you give them that objection, or when you tell them that, it automatically puts you on an authority figure. When you set the frame harshly, a lot of guys who I talk to, they don't set the frame harshly. they're just kind of loosey-goosey about it. They let the prospect start asking questions. Yeah, what time zone are you in? Nobody cares. They're just asking those questions because it's awkward and you haven't filled in the gap as a salesman. So it's your job to actually take the upper hand and be the one asking the right questions. So that being said, if you want to double your close rate, honestly, through this one video, take away this one thing. Ask more deeper level questions. Why? Why is it like that? Well, because I can't do this for this and this, and I'm having issues with my wife, and my business has gone downhill. Why? Dig into more pain. Understand that asking the right questions and talking less is going to give your prospect way more room to talk, and it's going to show them a more emotional side towards you, because that is really, at the end of the day, what closes the deals. Let them talk more. Ask more why questions. When they give you an answer, it's only the tip of the iceberg. It's your job to dig into more of the pain, to ask more of the why. But then when they have those objections, like, I just don't have enough time to do it, well, it's like, okay, well, if you don't have enough time to do it, then, what are you doing in your daily day-to-day? And they go, well, I'm doing this from day to day. So, do you have time right here? Yeah, I guess I can have time right there. Okay. Sales is simply just getting your prospect to see the world through your eyes and then seeing your solution as the best possible solution out there. And then all objections become irrelevant and they will invest. So if we ask the right questions, if we ask more why questions, if we're more patient, if we let awkward silence happen in our sales calls just a little bit more so they can get them to thinking more, and we ask them more why questions, ask them why this is happening, you'll be able to double your close rate if you just simply sit back, ask the right questions, set the frame correctly, and dig into the pain. I promise you, use these simple tips, very actionable tips, and I promise you, you will double your close rate.